Tinder.
Yo, man, I just read this crazy article, bro.
Well, what?
It was a teacher out here in North Carolina. He got killed in a shootout with a Mexican cartel
In North Carolina?
in North Carolina. He was a high school Spanish teacher. He was the head varsity basketball coach and the varsity track and field coach.
Damn.
Got ran up in a cartel in a trailer, but they were just talking about nobody expected the Spanish teacher slash
Was he? Was he in that life, or it was just some random shit?
Nah, he was in that life. He ran up in the junk.
Okay.
He ran up in the junk, try to get them pounds.
Oh, he tried to. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Damn.
Yeah.
Some real Walter White shit out here.
For real. Like him and his I think him and his brother-in-law trying to run up in the spot. I read that and I'm like,
come on, man. You can't be messing with the cartel. You know better than that.
Yeah, man. That teacher's pay, man. They gotta. It wasn't working for my man.
Fact, that was probably just a cover up though.
Nah,
He
for
was
real.
out here in the street.
What's good? Happy Thursday.
Yes, sir. Thursday live stream. We always have fun with y'all. I love the lives, man. We got a very dope interview for y'all too. We had a special guest. We sat down with yesterday, Steve Nelson.
Yeah.
Formerly of the Kansas City Chiefs, the draft pick with them. Then went on to Steelers. And then, their relationship ended. Now he's a free agent going into his 7th year. I'm looking forward to him, man. I think he's one of those corners who play some good ball, kind of goes under the radar for whatever reason. But looking forward to his next landing spot.
Nah, for sure. He definitely go whatever mob that he signs with, he's getting a hell of a player. He's gonna come in instantly and help that defense, help that secondary. So again, man, I'm definitely excited to see what he does. It was a great conversation yesterday. So y'all be on the lookout for that.
Great convo. And I think he might have been our first guest, if I'm not forgetting anybody that had to go the JUCO route.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a whole nother. I know people watched the Last Chance U. I watch it here and there. I watched the basketball one this year, which was really, really good.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah, but it kind of gives you a glimpse into that. And then obviously speaking with him, he kind of gives you, some more of the real behind the scenes, the challenges that you have to deal with, the maturity that you have to have when you got to go that path. So yeah, definitely that and a lot more was great about that interview, man. But what else been going on, AB? Yes, that's a crazy article, man.
Man, crazy. I'm gonna send it to you. I had to read that, man. It was wild. But man, look, man, let's jump into this basketball. I know we had talked about it offline just a few minutes ago, but just came out. LaMarcus Aldridge, man, announcing his retirement. I think after 15 years, I think he talked about his health. Having a irregular heartbeat and playing with that.
He just like 5 minutes ago, right before we hopped on. Yep.
And that's wild, man. I don't know how many other people I know. I was diagnosed with a irregular heartbeat. Also known as a heart murmur. So I know when I used to take my my physicals, the EKG for most people would take them maybe 2 minutes. You know what I mean? But I know. For me, that was one of the things that the doctors are always focused on, EKGs. Let's go back and let's test it again. So, again, man, that's something that's scary.
Did that what? So you had that your whole life?
Yeah, growing up, man, it was something that not too many people know about. That I had a heart murmur. And a lot of times you can grow out of heart murmurs.
Yeah, I want to say I might have had one as a kid.
Yeah, you can grow out of heart murmurs, but obviously it's always something that you want to take notice of and just make sure nothing is alarming. So
yeah, that's why we always take those pre-season physicals They get everybody's, get your blood work, get your lab work done, EKGs and all that. But yeah, that's scary right there. Mm-hmm. That's scary, especially with having kids now. And I got one, my second oldest has, a heart condition. And anytime she want to play sports or get into physical activity, that's always kind of a concern. We've all seen, some things happen on the court, on the field, somebody just collapse or something. So that's some scary stuff. But, happy for LaMarcus, man. He had a great long career in the NBA. Mm-hmm. I thought he was going to try to, go and get this ring. But obviously got to do what's best for your health first and foremost.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah, man. Talking about them Nets, though. So Dr. J made the comment that they were talking about today on some of the sports shows, talking about the Nets basically buying the championship. And we've seen it work in basketball. It can work in basketball, not so much in football. But how you feel about those comments?
It's coming from an OG. I think as we all know, everybody's gonna have their difference of opinions. And again, I think OG is just coming from a place where when he was playing that free agency, it was just a little different. Where they couldn't do it like guys can do it now. So I think as competitors, we all have our viewpoints on it. I think everybody's been stated their viewpoints on these super teams, whether it was LeBron, whether you want to say, Boston did it, and now, Golden State and now Brooklyn. So you can have your opinion on it. The OG feels how he feels. And I think it's always going to be this type of back and forth with the older cats and then the current players, because there's always going to be some type of differences as far as when people play. But I respect the OG, but then I respect
it's just the nature of the beast these days, man.
It is.
You can afford it, man. Go ahead and get you 2-3 superstars. Obviously, the players are wielding their power more and calling the shots. Like, hey, I want to go here or there and link up with this player. You saw Paul George and Kawhi do it. Remember LeBron, Wade, and Chris Bosh did it. Obviously KD joining the Warriors a few years back, like you mentioned. And now the Nets. Shoot, from the Nets standpoint, if I'm in the front office, obviously I'm going to try to put the best team out on the floor every night. You know what I mean? I could give a damn, how other people feel about it. And as a player, as a competitor, I know me personally, I'm like we talked about it last episode. I'm trying to win championships, right? So y'all can acquire.
I am. I'm trying to win.
Matter of fact, we're gonna talk about that, man. We're gonna talk about. I feel like my camera off. Hold on. We're gonna definitely talk about that.
Shit, I'm trying to win chips, but you trying to develop guys, and I don't know.
Katie, matter of fact, we're gonna jump right into that. So
let's do that.
The championships, right? So obviously, it started with KD's Tone jumping here to my KD. Now, KD, if y'all know better than to take those comments.
Whose comments?
Kevin Durant's comments about how did he basically say he's not motivated by championships, something like that, or that's not what motivates him competing and getting better, or playing ball, something along those lines.
What he said was, it's not all about the chips. It's about development. Okay. It's about X, Y, and Z, right? I get that. I feel as though along the way to get into those chips, it is about development. But when you're playing in the NFL, in the NBA, in the MLB, in the NHL, one thing we're playing this game. Well, I'm not gonna say it's one thing, but the most important thing for most people, it could be money for some, it could be the fame for others. But one of the most important things for that organization is that we want to win a chip.
Key word for that organization. And you know what? I think we've been duped. We've been hoodwinked.
Nah, you a damn
fool.
You a damn fool.
Nah, check this out. Because as players, yes, we want to win championships. I want to win championships. You're damn right. Should that be priority number one for players. In my opinion, no.
No, because everybody has a different everybody has different situations, right? So for you, it could be, look, I'm trying to get my money, I'm trying to get my family out of the situation that they're in, right? So I want to get the
priority number one.
I want to get the most money that I can get. I'm with that. After that, I want chips. And if you came in that Indianapolis Colts locker room and we had this conversation and you was like, man, I'm just trying to come in here and develop my game. I'm just trying to come in here and do whatever.
And I'm coming in this locker room with 2 Super Bowl rings already. And let's say I've been one of the best players in the league for the last decade. So what I'm bringing to the table already. You know what I bring to the table. We done competed against each other. All right, you coming in, you an all-pro type player.
What's this pod called? What is this pod called?
Man to man.
Right. So we send out man to man, and you coming in the locker room with 2 rings, right? I don't got none. I don't have no rings. So what I'm trying to, and I got my money. So I'm speaking as if I'm James Harden, right? So I just left.
All right, bet. So I'm KD, you James Harden.
I'm James Harden, right? So I just came from Houston, right? Where I'm putting up numbers, crazy numbers. We get into the playoffs. We getting out first, second round, right? So I'm tired of that, man. I want to go somewhere where I can win a chip. So who calls me? Who's helped recruiting me?
KD, me.
Right. You, right.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure we having these conversations or whatever. Mm-hmm. If I come in that locker room and you tell me like, man, I could care less about chips, I'm looking at you some type of way.
See, I don't think that's what Kevin Durant said. See, so this is the thing.
I'm talking about just what we heard. I'm not saying that what he said to James Harden, but I'm talking about
even in the comments. So he basically said, that's not what that's not. He don't wake up thinking like, damn, let me go and chase this. So like a guy like Michael Jordan, right? When he played, like that was his. It looked like at least that was his priority number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Whatever I got to say, whatever I got to do, whoever I got to be, it's all about winning those championships. And obviously that worked for Michael Jordan. Now for Kevin Durant, obviously he's a completely different player. Do I think Michael Jordan would have been having burner accounts and doing all that and doing all this? No, absolutely not. But Kevin Durant is on pace to be a billionaire before he even lead a game, right? And that wasn't he has different priorities. Yeah, he still want to play basketball. He still want to be the greatest basketball player on the court. He's going to still bring championship effort and championship level production, but his championships have been won off the court. When he went out to Golden State, went out to Silicon Valley and was able to put himself in them circles and make the investments and be at the table, he was at the same thing we talk about on this show, the man-to-man pod. We talk about as a player, as an individual, you got to worry about your personal corporation, yourself first, because these organizations, the Chicago Bulls, the Golden State Warriors, the Dallas Cowboys, Miami Dolphins, these organizations are going to be around forever. Now, obviously, when you're not Kevin Durant, he's going to be good regardless. But let's say you're not. Let's say you're a second, third tier type player. You damn sure need to be worried about yourself and making sure that your legacy and your family going to be good forever. That's priority. That should be priority number 1. Kind of how Westbrook said, "Hey, I don't want championships. I made it out the hood. I'm impacting other people's lives." What Damian Lillard, I'm about to touch 400 million before 35. Like, those are real championships. I done seen some champions, and then 3-4 years removed from the game, they fucked up. And the team and the leagues that they played in later on in life for care less about them.
I think we agree on that. Like, it's more to the game than rings. I agree with that. I agree. But what I'm saying is, if I'm coming into the locker room and I'm lacing up my shoes and I'm looking at you and you look at me like, man, I ain't tripping off no chips, bro. I got a problem with that. I get what you're saying, like, and I agree 1,000% with you.
KD ain't coming like that, man.
And maybe maybe the narrative is taken the wrong way. But what I'm saying is, if you my locker mate, D-Buck, and I'm like, yo, man, we better go out and get this chip, and you look at me like, well, shit, I just my Coinbase joke just got crazy. Like, I feel that.
Yeah, Coinbase Republic is
that shit crazy. But look, I agree with you 1,000% as far as.
But I'm still about to go out here and drop 30.
Yeah, but
on 15 shots. Now, if you're going out there playing go to hell ball for stats, and then you say you're not
look here, I agree with you, man. Where as far as it's not all about, it's other things other than chips, right? Like you said, like being able to set your family straight, being able to impact the community. We agree on that. But I just feel as though I need you when we walk in that building, like it's about business, right? It's about the business of whatever it is that we're doing. I need you to be aligned with me, winning games and winning chips. Now, outside of that, of course, it's other arenas we could be champions in. But when we walk in that building, when we walk in that locker room, when we in that meet room, I just need you. I need to be able to look at you like, okay, like this is what you built for. This is what you want to do. That's just,
Yeah, I feel you. I think from outside looking in, I think, when you in that locker room pre-game, pre-tip off with KD, you feel like KD. Like we saw KD come back from the Achilles and there's Terry's junk trying to win the championship. So we know how this dude built.
Yeah.
So to even try to, I get, it's slow news cycles right now. So people got to talk about it, make something out of it. But I think it's more about nothing.
This is wild though. Do you see this?
Hey, that shit was hilarious, bro. Because that's the thing with KD's show. When the athlete shows when anybody shows he cares. Like when you got picked on in school, like when you had a reaction to it, that's gonna make people want to do it more. It's gonna make you go to bed more. So that shit was hilarious. His reaction made it even funnier.
Man, he was like, "What? He was like, what I do?" That shit was crazy. But nah, respect the KD, man. Respect the KD. Man. A hell of a player. Like you said, he cares. You know what I mean? He shows that he cares, and I think it might rub some people the wrong way. They feel as though athletes at times are superhuman and forget that we are human. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's doing big things on and off the court. Like you said, going to Golden State was big for him. Be able to get in that Silicon Valley again. We just talked about Coinbase and what that did and what him and his business partner was able to do. But just a lot of stuff that he's just doing in the community and stuff too. So no KD hate. It's all
shout out to KD.
Good debate.
Yeah, for sure. That team. It's gonna be interesting to see how that Brooklyn thing pan out. Kyrie, he be taking his PTO, when he need it.
Man.
we go see how how would you feel about that?
You already know how I'm built. Like if it's not, bruh, like if it's no, and maybe I was wrong for even feeling this way, but if it's no death in your family, if it's nothing detrimental to your health or something crazy or injury that you can't play with, I get it. Other than that, I mean, we all tired. We all need rest. You feel me? Like,
what if it's like family stuff?
Family stuff, you got to
that he not gonna go into necessarily, but he say, all right, I need time off for personal issues and family, whatever. But it's let's say it's once a month or twice a month.
Nah. Let's rap, man. I'm your brother, man. What's up? What's going on, man? Like, I can't have you keep tapping out every month because we all got family issues. Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We all dealing with stuff. Like, not saying, and not to disregard that. And again, maybe I'm thinking about it the wrong way. Maybe it's something that players should possibly do. Like, if I got some things outside of my job that's affecting me, I need to handle that. I need to take care of that. Maybe that's the stance that he's taking. And again, maybe it's just me and the way my mind goes. Maybe I'm like, maybe I might be tripping.
Yeah, we can't. That was kind of the era we came up in, though. It ain't matter what was going on. 99 times out of 100, it ain't matter what was going on outside of that building. When it was time to show up for work, you showed up. Like you said, everybody dealing with some things. But maybe he's at a point in his life, his career, he done made a hell of a lot more money than I ever made. So maybe he like, what, this stuff takes
precedent,
a front seat.
Yeah.
And my basketball is the second seat, which to each his own. I can respect that. And I think Kyrie will show up, when it's time to show up. We've seen him do it on the biggest stage, but I rocks with Kyrie, man. Ramadan Kyrie went off. Shout out to everybody celebrating Ramadan as well, man. Yeah, I've always been, I mean, super. I don't even want to use the word impressed. I feel like that's an understatement. But guys who who go through Ramadan and go through the fasting and still, still can compete on a high level. I saw a soccer game, I believe, in Turkey. They took the break to break their fast, but to have that type of discipline and then it come in the game, you still competing against guys because how you need that hydration, you need the food, you need all that stuff. So that's crazy, man. But it's gonna be interesting.
It's funny because I was about to mention something today, and Tone he just dropped something in the chat where like Steph is top 10, and I'm just thinking about our conversation the other day about KD being top 10. I'm like, we ain't even mentioned Steph.
Steph is top 10. I agree with that, and I can't even believe I didn't mention him, but probably because I was trying to make the argument for KD. But Steph, man, when we look back on basketball, he probably changed the game as much as anyone. Honestly, you know what I mean?
I would say he probably like one of the. If you give me 5 that really had a big impact on the game, he's definitely in there.
Oh yeah, he top 2, 3 for sure because he impacted the game on every level.
Yeah, I would say MJ. I would say AI. I would say Steph. I would definitely say them 3. Jordan, just the impact that he just had on the game. AI, just as far as
like the AI culture, was more
culturally the way he just brought the streets to the game. And not in a negative way, but just cornrows and just tattoo, just the way who he was, and then like you say, Steph, just the way he, nobody was coming, on a fast break, pulling up on 3. You know what I mean? So
and now you see it everywhere. Magic and Bird saved the NBA back in the late 70s, early 80s.
But did they change it? Did they?
I mean Magic brought he brought that Showtime. But nobody changed. In my opinion, from what I've seen, nobody changed the game of basketball like Steph Curry changed. I mean, on like I said, every level from AAU to college to not only on the men's side, on the women's side as well. Like threes, analytics, all that has changed the entire sport. And I think Curry has a big part of that. Plays a big role because when you look at MJ, you look at LeBron, you look at Wilt, you look at Dr. J, you look at those guys, like, okay, I can't do that. Like I don't care how much I go to the gym, I will never be able to do what LeBron James does on the court, what Kobe Bryant does on the court. I can at least think in my mind, all right, if I go put up enough shots, if I do this, if I do that, if I work on my game, if I do this, you can see you put that work in, you can improve your 3-point shot. So that changes the game. It spaces the floor. So his impact on the game from on the floor, it's hard for me to say anybody that I've seen has impacted it more than Steph. And that's not all he can do. He's a guy that can handle the ball. He can finish at the rim. He can pass. So he does so many things. Well, the only thing you would say he doesn't play. He doesn't play good defense. And he top 10, already greatest shooter to ever touch the earth.
Yeah,
top 10 in my book. But KD's still top 10. One of them old cats I have to get booted before him.
I feel you.
You feel me?
Shout out to my man Gary Brackett, man. Gary Brackett was like, hell nah, KD.
She be wildin'. You talking about who he said? Pippen. Scottie Pippen and somebody else he named too. Which I love Pippen, one of the best two-way players ever.
Yeah, he can't touch KD.
Man. He said somebody else that was wild. He said Penny, which Penny was on that trajectory.
He was on track,
you know what I mean? He got hurt.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Man, this shit interesting. What else we got, man? Talked about RJ retirement. Oh, we got the WNBA draft tonight.
Yeah.
WNBA draft tonight. Shout out to Renee Montgomery, friend of the show.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was hitting her last night. Her first draft, as an owner, the WNBA with the Atlanta Dreams. It's huge. So I hit her last night. Congratulated her again. Wished her good luck with her first draft tonight. And obviously had to ask her, how much input was she going to have? Is she going to be all in the room trying to make decisions? Because obviously with that experience going from a a real basketball player who's played at the highest level on every level, and now you're in that ownership seat. It got to be hard. I can imagine to kind of, let the, the basketball ops and the coaches handle the draft pick, but she said she's going to try to, stay out of it. But so
that'll be tough. I know I'd definitely be on my phone or be in somebody ear like, hell nah, we ain't taking them. Hell
fact. So it's gonna be fun, man. But shout out to her. Good luck to her tonight, man. And the whole WNBA. We want to see them continue to grow. Their product, get in front of more eyes, more ears, because me and you respect the game, watch them play, and love what they doing, man. So shout out to them. Shout out to them, man. What else we got, man? Let's get to this football, man.
Yeah. Football. Shoot, we got Cleveland Browns. They signed Jadeveon Clowney.
Big signing. How you feel about that?
I mean, I like it. It's
1 year, $10 million.
1 year, $10 million. I love it. Now it's like you got Myles Garrett, got Jadeveon Clowney. Like, where you gonna slide the protection to? Like, who you gonna double team?
You sliding that protection to Myles Garrett.
I mean,
that's a for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, you got Jadeveon over there now. You got him 1-on-1 with your right tackle. Like, so I like that. I like that as far as the defense. If I'm in the secondary, I love it.
Love it.
The quarterbacks. They got the clock in their head, so they know the boys is coming. So I love that as well. So I think it's a great signing for both sides. Like you said, 1 year deal. So if you're the player, you go out there, you ball. Sure, you're looking at another payday. Yeah. Team wise, okay, we're gonna see what you're gonna do. So I think it's a win-win for both sides.
Yeah, man. Andrew Berry, we talk about him a lot on this show. He was my pick last year. Was he your pick too for Executive of the Year?
Executive of the Year,
yeah. Getting in his first year, having a big part of getting the Browns to their first playoff appearance, and it feel like my lifetime. And he's made some once again, man. He made great moves last offseason. Made some great moves this offseason. Thus far signed John Johnson from the Rams, and now bringing over Jadeveon, who was a former number 1 pick. Who we've seen him play. He hasn't posted a double-digit sack season in the NFL yet, which I think everybody will be surprised by that when he was picked. We'll say going into year 7, 8 for him that he still hasn't done that. But he's been productive. He causes problems. Everything don't really show up on the stat sheet, but he definitely causes problems. I'm sure he hasn't seen a bunch of consistent one-on-one matchups throughout his career. He was, on that field with, J.J. Watt when he was at high level. Yeah. So, but him and Myles Garrett, I think is the best pass rusher in the league. Him and Aaron Donald. So it's gonna be great for him. And like you said, that secondary, man, and then the D coordinator. If I'm calling plays. Man, I can get a lot. I can get a lot more aggressive on that back end.
Yeah, I don't got to send a lot of 5-man, 6-man pressures now. I got to let the front 4 eat.
Yep.
So it's so many things you could do when you have, the ability to be able to do it when you have the guys up front.
Yep. And Jadeveon has he has experience lining up, because what pass rushers, when you can line them up kind of over that in the interior lineman, when you line them up over them guards and centers. I remember he used to do that a lot in Houston. So now imagine him on the same side as Myles Garrett, and him, moving around, kind of being that jack, and then so that's gonna be exciting for that team. Browns making some moves, man. They're my favorite right now. They win that AFC North.
And then again, I think what we don't take into consideration is like when you have two guys like that, like what it does to like an O-line coach, offensive coordinator throughout the week. It's like, okay, what are we going to do? Like you spending so much time of, okay, this is protection we're going to do. We're going to slide. We're going to do 5-0. What are we going to do? So it's just like a lot of mental gymnastics, throughout the week of how are we going to try to slow these guys down. We're not going to be able to stop them, but what can we do to slow them down? So
it's similar to us. So the O-line and the secondary are very similar. So that would basically be like 2 number 1 receivers. You know what I mean? So it's going to be certain situations where, you got, let's say a healthy Odell, and you got Jarvis out there. As a secondary, it's certain situations where, all right, we got to be more focused on Jarvis. All right, it's third and medium. He's going to be and then it's, regular. Any other time, we got to know what 13 is at all times. So that would be like the Myles Garrett. And then you got to allocate resources to stopping those guys, and you giving everybody else one-on-one. So the guys around those guys should have their best years as well. But it's gonna be interesting, man. Great move. But the Browns, like you said, 1 year, so he's gonna come in there as a player, motivated. He's 28, so he can definitely still get that bag. And then as a team, it's kind of a low risk, high reward situation. So
what you see the ceiling for the Cleveland Browns this year? Like you said, you made the playoffs last year.
Super Bowl appearance. That for sure. I mean, you got a quarterback that you should believe in at this point, especially if they keep Odell on the roster. I'm not sure that they will, but let's say that they do. You got that two-headed monster in the backfield.
Yeah.
You're going to have a motivated Odell. You're going to have Baker with another year under his belt. He's the biggest wild card, I would say, and then making a Super Bowl run. And then you got guys, coming back. You got Grant Delpit, who's a second-round pick, coming back there healthy in the secondary. Greedy Williams, hopefully we see him be healthy and see what we get out of that pick. And then you got Myles Garrett. You got Jadeveon up front. So you got the pieces. You got Stefanski did a great job as a first-year head coach. So you got the pieces, man. We saw him make a run last year and almost beat the Chiefs.
No, for sure.
So, yes, I would say the ceiling for them, definitely. If I'm a Browns fan, as crazy as it sounds, I'm looking forward to us actually having the chance to make a run for it this year.
Ooh, that turnover, that team was quick. Shit, what, 2 years?
Yeah, immaculate. That was just over a few years ago.
Yeah, like you said, Andrew Berry, man, that front office, man, doing a hell of a job. So you heard it, man. You heard it here first, man. D-Butt said it. Super Bowl or bust. Super Bowl or bust.
Super Bowl or bust for Cleveland.
Super Bowl or bust, man. So we're going to see.
Every team coming to season with those expectations, no matter who on the roster, at least that's the, the shit they spewing in the meetings. Hey, we're going to woo now. In front office, they probably know realistically we're 2 years away.
I can't wait to get into them like them coaches meeting in front office meetings and see what the real talks be like. Because
that's what I'm saying. The real talk, like, man, shit.
Man, we some shit.
We some shit here. We ain't got a shit.
So,
but what are the Super Bowl odds for the Browns? That'd be interesting. I'm gonna look it up. I have it to you by the end of the show.
Okay, Alden Smith just signed to the Seahawks.
Who broke that news? Okay, Tone Gaines broke the news. Okay, I hope don't you ain't get hit by one of them fake. Them fake Adam Schefter. Matter of fact, I got to hit Jim Rome up. He the biggest Browns fan. He's been calling the Browns an American team for a minute now. So I'm sure I got to see how he feel about that. Standing the football.
And Matt just put it in the chat.
Matt, yeah. So I want to know, Matt Merringer. I want to know who wants to mess with Aaron Donald besides someone looking to sue. Yeah, I want
to see that footage.
Yeah, when I
seen it yesterday come across. I want to see that
picture. Yeah, I saw the picture with the eye and the sling, and I'm like, I don't know. You don't look messed up enough to look like you got in the squabble with Aaron Donald.
Yeah, my man, he getting tired of getting up for that 9 to 5, and man, what can I do? So we'll see.
Yeah, AD out late night in the boom room. Down the south side of Pittsburgh. Pat, said that's the rougher area. That's a little rougher around the edges.
Mm-hmm.
He spoke on it. Joy Taylor said the same thing. She kind of from that area. But, yeah, man, you out there late. I always had a coach, man. Hey, nothing good happens after 12.
Hey.
You know what I mean?
Coach Dungy used to tell us that probably every other day. Yeah, or at least once a week.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing good happens after 12. It was another one with the young ladies. Was that
the trifecta?
It was if you know them too well or don't know them well enough, leave them alone.
That's some good wisdom right there.
Yeah.
Belichick always gave us the trifecta. He was like, all right, obviously I've been around a long time. You always the late night stuff, been out after 12, but they tried, I think it was alcohol, drugs, and women. Like usually it's gonna be one of those 3 things. So as players, know where you at, obviously know where you are. I'm sure the story, the details will come out. Who knows what happened. People try you just to get the reaction out of you. Sometimes they get that smoke. And, it's much warranted. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, man.
Shall see, man. What else we got with football, man? Julian Edelman.
Man.
Julian Edelman retired. And after I think he said a 12-year career, I was actually drafted in the same draft class with Julian Edelman up there in New England. Shout out to Jules, man, on an amazing career, 3-time Super Bowl champ, 1-time Super Bowl MVP. Came in as a 7th round pick as a quarterback. And transitioned to receiver and carved out a hell of a career, man. So first and foremost, shout out to that.
Respect. Yeah.
Getting it out the mud. That's no easy task. Now obviously the immediate conversation with Julian Edelman, whether you like it or not, like I said, slow news cycle. We got to have something to talk about. Is he a Hall of Famer? Your immediate reaction to that?
No. Hell of a player. For Hall of Famer? Nah.
All right. Why? What's your reasoning that he's not a Hall of Famer?
Again, just the body of work. Now, he is a 3-time Super Bowl champ, Super Bowl MVP. But then if you just look at the body of work, I just don't think it aligns with what the Hall of Fame wide receivers embody. You still look at Isaac Bruce or Torrey Holt or Reggie Wayne. Those guys are in. So I'm not saying that he won't get in. He might get in, a few years, 20 years down the line. But for us to right when he retired, he's a sure in, a Hall of Famer. Nah, I don't think that's it. Again, not to take away what he was on the field, because he was a dog on the field, a hell of a player. But I just don't see him in the Hall when you talk about the other greats. That's in there,
especially with that position.
Yeah,
especially that's just such a, for whatever reason, right or wrong, it's just been such a tough position to get in the Hall. I like I said, probably 20 years down the line, maybe depending on if they start to say the slot receiver is its own position, and you look at historically who was the best in those positions. But I mean, honestly,
he ain't have a better career than Wes Welker.
That's what I was about to say. If you had to say, all right, Wes Welker or Julian got to get in the Hall of Fame this year, even though Wes Welker doesn't have the same postseason accolades as Julian. I think he went 5 years in a row to 100 catches. Like he kind of really changed the NFL in a sense. Yeah, him and Brady, when it came to them slot performances.
I mean, before Wes, one that pops in my mind. And he probably didn't do it as long, but like Brandon Stokely, when him and Peyton was together, and you had Marvin and Reg on the outside, you had Stokely in the slot, but Wes Welker, man, shit.
Yeah, that shit was different. But I mean, Julian did do it on the biggest stage. That Atlanta catch.
Yeah, a hell of a catch.
I believe he was a Super Bowl MVP when they beat the Rams, which was a tough team offensively, both sides, but he was eating.
Yeah.
So you can say something. I mean, one of the things that people say is, can you write the story to NFL without the guy? Being that he has 3 Super Bowl rings and he played an important role in all of them.
That's so tough right there, though.
That's tough. It's tough to say you can write this story to NFL without Julian Edelman.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm pretty sure we can go down the list of Hall of Famers and be like, okay, if this person wasn't in here, we'll be just fine. Like
who?
Nah, I'm not about to do that. But we can have that. We can have that conversation. But I think it's some guys in there that You know,
I don't know, man. I don't know because it's definitely not all about the stats. Like for instance, Matt Stafford, when he retires, he'll have a bunch of records and stats and things like that. But I don't think he'll be a Hall of Fame quarterback. I don't think he should get in the Hall. Great career, a lot of stats. But and then Julian got the impact. Me personally, I don't think he's a Hall of Fame receiver.
Yeah.
But I don't want to take away from the amazing career that he carved out. Yeah. But just my honest opinion. Yeah, my honest opinion would say, no, he's not a Hall of Fame receiver, which is not wrong with that. Hall of Fame is meant to be, in my opinion, for the guys who were like, when they played, it was a good stretch where they were considered to be like the top 3 of their position.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, one of the top, but then, other things play in. Championships, longevity, et cetera, but no. Yeah. But shout out to Julian. No, shout out to Julian, man.
Hell of a career. Yeah, shout out.
Hell of a career. Definitely one of those guys who left it all on the field, for sure. Stop it, Tom.
Right, Tom.
He definitely Detroit Lions. He's gonna be Ring of Honor, which I mean, y'all should be. This is the time for Lions fans. This is y'all time, man. Every year, y'all got to get excited about the draft. You know what I mean? Y'all get a single-digit pick every year. This is when y'all celebrate win because y'all know once September hit.
Once the season. No, September, they'll play strong September.
I don't know. Stafford ain't,
October, November, December, though. That's a whole another conversation.
That's when they start getting ready to be excited for the next year.
For next year, right.
Yeah, so shout out to Lions fans out there, man. What if Stafford gets a ring? How would Lions fan feel? Do we have any Lions fans in here?
Besides
Tone. If Stafford goes on to the Rams and gets a ring, which I don't think will happen, but it could, not out of the realm of reality. He goes and gets a ring. How would the Lions fans feel like you seen him suffer for so long in that organization? Now he goes somewhere and wins, as opposed to like Patriot fans who you seen Tom Brady bring you 6 in 20 years, and then he goes to Tampa and gets his 7th. I feel like most Pats fans aren't that salty, honestly. It's like, you did it for us. You went on the one. We love you, Tom. Congratulations.
I think Detroit fans would be happy for Stafford. I think so.
Yeah, I mean, I would think so.
I would hope so. You know what I mean? Sure. He done went out there, played.
He left it on the field too.
He left it on the field. It was a lot of the wrongdoings and ill stuff was due to the organization. You know what I'm saying? So I think they would be cool with it. I would hope so.
All right. We got Uncle Rico, a Vikings fan. He said, I hope everything worked for Stafford. Dude's a gamer and tore it up in the NFC North without any help. I wouldn't say he didn't have any help. He had one of the greatest receivers of all time. First ballot Hall of Fame for a good stretch. He had some other good players around him. Nate was there for a little bit. Not that much help.
Right.
Reggie Bush had a decent couple seasons.
Yeah, it wasn't that much help. Please believe that.
Yeah.
But so what else we got football-wise?
Brett Favre made some Brett Favre comments again.
Brett Favre back on
Speaking of the NFC North.
Brett Favre back on them pills, man.
Back on the bullshit. And with, this the thing. This the thing with the whole people who say, oh, I watch sports to my sports, right? I don't want politics. I don't want this involving the sports. You got to understand, like, we're talking about with Kyrie and KD and everybody. Everybody, shit. These people are humans. You know what I mean? And what we're seeing now is, people speaking out more on their human issues, the issues that affect them as a human, as opposed to just being athletes, just going out there and dribbling, just going out there and catching passes. Now people are using their platforms to speak on things that are important overall, right? Mm-hmm. And if you don't agree with whatever they're speaking about,
agree to disagree.
Watch the game. You know what I mean? Maybe you just don't understand. You don't get it. And then it's not even political. A lot of it, if you're talking about, unarmed black men getting killed by the police, it's nothing political about that.
Yeah.
If you're talking about systemic issues in, the education, the criminal justice, the communities, it's nothing political about that. Like those are human rights issues. So obviously a lot of these players are black, so it's just something you can't relate to. Which, like I said, I want to see y'all play football. All right, watch them play football or basketball, and then just say I don't understand it. But to say, a lot of the people I'm talking to saying they're not watching anymore, that's bullshit. Because NFL just signed a $10 billion contract, so they'll be fine without you. But if you don't want to watch players speak out about things that are important to them, then don't watch them same players play the game. It's as simple as that to me.
Nah, man, you hit it on the head, bro. Like, again, like it's not political. These are issues that we're having to deal with on a day-to-day basis, as you can see on the news almost every week. You know what I mean? So for him to take that stance, I think that's selfish. And I think a lot of this stuff is just selfish, being able to comment on shit that you know nothing about. You know what I mean? Just because you don't deal with it on a day-to-day basis, or your family members don't deal with it on a day-to-day basis, it's just a selfish comment, selfish act. So
yeah,
but
shit, wow, man. Only place you can find sports ain't here with a Space Jam. Better go check. Robots not out there playing yet. They'll be out there soon, but right now you're dealing with humans, so
yeah,
you're gonna have to deal with human issues, and I applaud those guys using their platform to bring light to these issues, because it's been a long time where players were afraid to do that. Yep. And now you got corporations that are more likely to align, or they feel like it's okay now to align with that. You know what I mean? So they're giving like kind of the protection of the shield in a sense to the athletes to speak out on that. Whether that's right, wrong, or indifferent, that's just the reality of it. So you're gonna continue to see it. It ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, definitely not.
It ain't going nowhere, and I don't think it should.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, what else y'all got? Y'all got any questions, comments these last 10 minutes?
Put them in the comments section for us, please.
Yeah, man. And y'all see that the bottom of the screen, that man-to-man code is still up, 20% off, free shipping. Man, the number 2, man. You know your significant other will appreciate you. Trust me. Trust me. Boo. All right, let me take my little. I'll be right back. For the last 10.
Man, what else y'all got, man? What y'all got for the weekend coming up? What's Gus Bradley gonna do in Vegas? I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm trying to see what they got. What they got out there in Vegas, because I thought top 10 what? What we talking about? NBA? We talking about NBA, Tone? My all time. Word. That's tough. In no particular order. Hey, pause that, K. Pause. In no particular order, I'm gonna go with MJ, Kobe, LeBron, Magic, Shaq, Steph, Bird,
Hey,
Kareem, right? I told you gotta chill out. Kareem,
I think we should put a caveat on these top 10 lists. You got to be somebody you watch play.
But so it's not a top 10 all time then.
I mean, that's just my opinion. My opinion, it's hard to put somebody in the top 10 that you didn't watch. But I do it with Kareem. Even with Magic to an extent. I remember watching Magic, but not like,
Damn, 10. I'm trying to. You came in and cut me off for my 10, bro.
My fault, bro. Yeah, like 7.
I was at 8. So I had MJ, Kobe, LeBron, Steph, Magic, Bird, Kareem. Shit. That's 7.
You put Shaq in there too, right?
Shaq. If I said Shaq, that was 8.
KD.
I'm gonna put Akeem in there, Akeem Olajuwon.
Woo!
And I'll throw KD in there, but you know, if we talking all the time, Wilt, Bill Russell. John Jay,
Tim Duncan, KG.
Tim Duncan, yeah.
You got I don't think AI would be. I mean, AI could be in some people's top 10.
In some top 10. Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
That's a list, man.
That's a list. Uncle Rico, AB, my man. How hard is it to hold your shade against a receiver stemming you? And who gave you a tough time with route release if you ever played down as a corner? I never played down as a corner. I did play nickel. So I think outside, and you can kind of correct me if I'm wrong, D, but when you play in your leverage, I think it depends on the coverages that you play in as well, you know, and knowing where your help is. Where I think sometimes it's not hard to keep your leverage, where it is in other times it is a little tougher. Whereas if you're playing in the slot, I think it's a lot tougher. It's a lot tougher just because it's more room that the receiver is working with. But on the outside, shit, I think I'm not gonna say easy, but I think it's easier to hold your leverage on the outside. Like if you playing a zero coverage and you inside leverage, I don't think it's that tough to kind of hold your inside leverage if you work your technique right. You know, if you outside and you got outside leverage, and you know your helpers on the inside, if you got good eyes and good technique, I don't think it's tough to hold your outside leverage. So again, depending on where you at, and obviously who you lined up against is, makes it more tougher or makes it tougher or easier.
The savvier route runners, you pretty much hit it on the head from a technique standpoint. But the route runners that make it, in my experience, it was like a guy like Reggie Wayne. Reggie Wayne. It's like the smart receivers who know, because they're gonna know. The smart receivers know what leverage you're in. They know the defense. They know what leverage you're supposed to be in. So they attack that, and they make a lot of things look the same. Yeah. So like a Reggie Wayne, a Keenan Allen, Antonio Brown, Stephon Diggs, like those type of receivers would attack that leverage. And sometimes you had outside leverage, they attack you a little bit and then just run away from you. So, or they'll just take it and cross your face if you got inside leverage. So, depends on the receivers. Obviously they get paid. They get paid too. And but it's tough. It's definitely tough. Like you said, that slot, a lot more space. When you're outside, you got that sideline, that 12th defender. So it's a little easier. But it's definitely tough, man.
Yeah, what else we got? Good question though, Uncle Rico.
Definitely good question.
Sure, this a question for you, D Buck.
The biggest freak athlete I ever matched up against, probably say Julio Jones. Julio Jones, one of those guys who obviously looked like he was built in the lab. And then, so tall, long pause, fast, but also quick in the sense that he can get in and out of cuts. Transitions were smooth. Catch radius was crazy. So I would say Julio Jones he's the first person that comes to mind. You think like, damn, this is okay. Megatron as well. Damn, Megatron. Yeah. So Megatron, Julio Jones, those would be my answers.
Yeah, I'll say that too. And then I don't think a lot of people talk about Andre Johnson enough. I think he was, before Julio,
another cat
built in the lab that was strong, that was fast, could get in and out of breaks. So I'll definitely have him up there as well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man, that's why you got to study as a DB. You can't just go out there and line up and say, all right, I got this cat.
Whatever some you can. Do, wherever you go. Some, you might have one in the decade.
I don't believe that.
Man, shit.
The best ones you knew, they studied, regardless of their physical tools. Who was the most physically gifted DBs you saw, corners you saw? Like physically, not
that I played with or I just saw.
Play with, against, because we watching even
I would say Antonio Cromartie.
Yeah.
I would say Pat P.
Yeah.
I would say physically gifted.
Champ Bailey was. Obviously, Prime. I didn't see him firsthand.
I
on the field.
But Prime.
Crow was DRC.
Yeah,
DRC was stupid athletic too.
And then even like, sure, if you want to talk about it, like Jonathan Joseph, I don't think like when he first came in the league, he was.
Yeah,
he was gifted as well. One of them South Carolina corners. I don't think we talk about them South Carolina DBs enough. They got some folk. They got some boys. They got some dogs out coming out of there.
That's where Dante Robinson went too, right?
Dante Robinson. Yep.
Dante Robinson.
Gilmore.
Gilly.
You got
Captain Munnerlin.
You got Swearinger.
DJ Two Spoons.
You got some guys, some DBs coming out of there.
Whoa. Okay, you tripping. Andre was Mike Thomas before time. Don't disrespect. Nah. Like that. Completely different class.
Yeah, dead. Totally.
Completely different class. I talk to any football player, any defensive back, they'll never put those two in the same.
Any receiver.
Yeah, no. Any receiver, yeah. Mike Thomas, he's done some incredible things, put up amazing numbers, and he's a great player in his own right. I just wouldn't put him in the same conversation as Andre Johnson.
Man, Andre Johnson have a quarterback like Drew Brees, man. Scary. Oof. Scary.
Yeah, scary hours. But shit, man, it's 12:03, so y'all know what to do. Matt Marriage asked a question too. What do you think McAfee is up to? He keeps hinting that he's up to something. He's up to something big. I'll go over there and check him out. But Pat always up to something, man.
Yeah,
we're gonna see.
But look, man, we appreciate y'all checking in, tapping in with us. Again, we said tomorrow, man, we're gonna have another episode out.
Yep.
Another episode, so y'all check that out. As always, man, tell a friend to tell a friend. Hit that like button, subscribe. And again, bottom of the screen, Manscaped. Manscaped.com, 20% off. Use that man-to-man code. Make sure it's the number 2. Appreciate the conversation. Appreciate the love, man. I'm Antoine Bethea, my guy, Darius.
Yes, sir. Yup. And before we get up out of here, friend of the show, Triple J, John J. Jonathan, non-football related. Thank you talking to you, AB. Your internet has been on point for a while, I must say.
John J., please believe when I see your ass. I'm stupid. It's gonna be a form tackle. I'm trying to tell you. I got one left.
Yeah, man. No. So you got one left for him?
I got one left. One good form tackle. It's going John J.
Hey, John. Hey, don't be on that. Don't be on that Aaron Donald shit either. Too. I don't want to see you in the sling with the eye talking about. Yeah. We gonna see though. But yeah, man, my man, hey, it's internet. Come on, man.
Hey,
he's a pro. No
J,
Teddy
man.
Riley shit.
Nah, John J, man, appreciate the love, appreciate the support. It's all love.
Yeah, man. Y'all be easy, man. We'll catch y'all on Monday. Check out that show tomorrow. We got a double, you know what I mean, back to back. Check out the show tomorrow. We'll see y'all live on Monday. I'm sure it'll be some good shit to talk about.
Yes,
appreciate y'all.
Peace.